Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Temperatures across the prairie right now a bit on the cool side as the trough makes its way through the region. Temperatures anywhere from around 10 degrees across central and southern Alberta to the lower teens across central and southern Saskatchewan. And then on the warm side of the system, still in the low 20s across southern Manitoba. So we take a look at the satellite picture, we can kind of draw the storm system on here. We got the counterclockwise flow here. Cooler air coming in on the backside. Let me draw that in blue here. That's the reason for the cooler temperatures now across Alberta and Saskatchewan. Yet on the leading edge, we still have some warm air advection. That's why, again, we're still on the warm side as we look at portions of central and southern Manitoba. And that's where the best chance for some thunderstorms, maybe a couple severe storms, is going to be found as we head through the later part of the day today. So you look at the radar picture here early on Monday morning. Again, some light showers across scattered portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan. Heavier rain to be found across southern Manitoba here, moving into the Winnipeg area. And again, that's on the warm side of the system here and where we could still see some more robust thunderstorm activity as we head through the next 24 hours. We'll look at that here with the high-resolution NAM model, bringing it back to Monday morning. We'll take this into midday afternoon, into the midday into the mid-afternoon. Again, this model's trying to forecast some more intense thunderstorm development in the Winnipeg area, maybe across southern and southeastern Manitoba. I think this would be where, if I think there's going to be any severe storms, it would be located. Back toward the west, talking about more in the way of just your light rain shower activity, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, but much lower risk for severe weather as you head back to the west. So let's take this is 7 p.m. now, sunset. Approximately later on this afternoon and evening. Again, potentially, one or two rounds of strong storms across portions of central and southern Manitoba with lighter rain shower and thunderstorm activity possible back to the west. So we head into the day on Tuesday. This is sunrise tomorrow morning, heading into the mid-morning and then midday and afternoon hours. As this area of low pressure in the upper levels kind of takes its time as it decays and spins across the region here, we could continue to see cloud cover, cooler temperatures, and some light rain showers across central and northern portions of Saskatchewan into northeastern portions of Alberta, and then shower and storm activity possible across central and northern Manitoba as well. But as we get later into the day on Tuesday, certainly into Wednesday and Thursday, drying out a bit across the prairie here, where maybe some light showers into Tuesday night across southern portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. But Wednesday, bringing in drier conditions here as we get into the mid to late part of the week as a ridge starts to slowly nudge into the region. That's going to give us a pause in the more active pattern here. We get into midday Thursday. This is Thursday afternoon, looking like it'll be quite sunny for a lot of folks across the Canadian Prairie here as we get into the day on Thursday. But as we get later into the week, into the weekend, we see another trough begin to move in. We're going to see a rather progressive pattern here over the next 7 days, which is going to mean a bit of a temperature roller coaster and active conditions a pause and then active conditions resuming here. So let's look at the instability forecast as we head through the next couple of days. This is this afternoon here. And again, you see at least moderate values across central and southern Manitoba, maybe far southeastern Saskatchewan as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. And this is where a few, or at least maybe one or two clusters of some stronger storms could erupt. Again, generally across central and southern Manitoba is the region I'm more concerned about. Again, maybe some general thunderstorm activity across southern Alberta into central and southern Saskatchewan. Maybe a couple storms producing some hail back in those regions. As we get into Tuesday afternoon and evening, and then beyond that, again, kind of low instability across central and southern Manitoba, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, perhaps a storm producing some hail. But as we get later into the week, look off to the south. Much of the higher instability, that real volatile air mass, well off to the south across first the northern plains and then down into the Midwest of the U.S., as much of the deeper moisture is kind of kept down in that region. So while we'll see a chance for some rumbles of thunder here Tuesday and Wednesday in select areas across the prairie, the severe weather threat is going to come to a bit of a pause in regards to the more robust severe weather threat that we've seen over the last 2-3 weeks, an unprecedentedly active severe weather season across the prairie here over the last 3 weeks. And again, this week going to be a little bit more tame compared to the last several. So as we look at the total precipitation forecast, just raw output from the NAM model, so not exactly how it's going to, sort itself out, but we see those heavier thunderstorms possible across southern portions of Manitoba, bringing the potential for some heavier rain. As you look back toward the west, you see kind of a smattering of rain shower activity, maybe a few thunderstorms tucked in there. We're talking about anywhere from 5 to maybe 15 millimeters of precipitation across this region as we head through the next 3.5 days. Now, as we take a look at the upper level pattern here, 500 millibar height anomalies, here's the trough that's parked across the region right now. Got the cooler temperatures pushing in from the west. Warmer temperatures still holding on in the east, but it will be short-lived in that region. We will get a bit of a cool down. Let me go ahead and jump back here and show you the progressive nature to the pattern. Trough number 1 is going to finally make its way off to the east. That will allow for a ridge here that has crossed the Pacific to start to make its way ashore as we get into the mid to late part of the week, and that's what shuts the precipitation down at least for 24 to 48 hours and allows us to warm up as we head into the end of the week as well. That said, at least with regards to the quiet and warm pattern, another trough begins to swing in from the west as we get into the weekend. And early next week, that's going to mean a resumption in the active pattern here with showers and storms across the prairie. It's also going to mean knocking those temperatures back down, ending that warm-up as we get into the end of the week and the weekend. Let's look just at the direct precipitation forecast then from the European model. Here's the first trough, that area of low pressure tucked way up to the north as this thing continues to spin across the prairie and decay, not moving a whole lot. We'll see that chance for showers and storms beginning to wane as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday looking like a gorgeous day across much of the prairie. And then as we get into Friday and Saturday, here's our next storm system coming in from the Pacific, bringing another chance for showers and storms, a renewed chance for severe weather across the prairie as we head into the weekend, and a renewed shot of cooler air coming in across the west that'll knock our temperatures back down as we head into the end of the week and early next week. So we'll look at the next 7 days from the European Ensemble model, the precipitation anomaly forecast. Again, you see near average or drier conditions now across central and southern Alberta, getting into southern Saskatchewan. Wetter over here, of course, where we see the heavier thunderstorm threat over the next 2 days or so. But really, again, a brief pause here in the active pattern as we get into mid to late week, and a pause in the more robust severe weather threat. So as we look at the total precipitation forecast from the European Ensemble model, again, it's a smoothed out forecast here because the operational models, the individual runs here are just not going to pick up on the scattered nature of the precipitation and the thunderstorm chances. So this helps us get a better idea of the general theme over the next 7 days. And what I see here is, lower chances for precipitation across Alberta into central and southern Saskatchewan. That's where we're talking about the opportunity for some precipitation, likely in the form of lighter rain, especially over just the next day or two, where we're talking about probably 5 to 15 millimeters of precipitation where folks do get some rain, at least until we get to the end of the week where more of a wild card gets introduced here as we get into that Friday, Saturday, Sunday thunderstorm chance. Where you see the yellow shading beginning, that would be kind of in this area from, along and south of Highway 16 down into southern Manitoba. That's where we got a better chance for picking up an inch or 25 millimeters of precipitation. Talking a little bit fast for a Monday morning here over the next 7 days. And again, a lot of that with the chance for some thunderstorms here over the next 24 to 48 hours. And then we'll see that renewed chance for heavier thunderstorms back across the same exact region here as we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the coming weekend. So let's look at those temperatures again, anywhere from, a few to 5 or 6 degrees cooler than average here across Alberta and Saskatchewan getting started here on Monday morning. We'll see that cooler air shifting into Manitoba as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well, knocking temperatures down just a few degrees cooler than average. And here in mid-July, that will feel nice after quite a hot and active last couple of weeks across southern Manitoba. As we get into the end of the week or mid to end of the week, we see that ridge build in. All it really does is kind of bring temperatures back to where they should be this time of year across Alberta and Saskatchewan. So we're talking about a warm-up, but it's not unseasonable warmth or anything like that until you get off to the east, where, again, we could be running anywhere from 3 to 5 degrees warmer than average by the time we get to the weekend across portions of central and southern Manitoba. Very similar to what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. So here's a look at the next 7 days, the next 10 days of temperatures here for Calgary. Again, here's that warm-up, peaking on Thursday, a high of 26, knocking things back down to the lower 20s as we get into the weekend. Edmonton, you'll warm up to 24 on Thursday, down to the lower 20s again for the weekend. Similar picture here in Saskatoon. Again, that peak of the ridge here, the warmest days. Thursday is going to be a gorgeous day, a high of 26. Sunny conditions likely across Saskatoon and Regina here, a high of 27. 29 for the high on Friday before cooling down into the weekend. And then Winnipeg, here's your warm-up. Right around 24 for the next couple of days, warming up to 30 degrees on Friday with temperatures resetting down into the upper 20s as we head into the weekend and early next week.